welcome on the E.B.U.N show.
Glad to have you join us on the Nifemi show.
I don't understand.
Sorry.
Hello and welcome on the E.B.U.N show.
Glad to have you join us on the Nifemi show.
I don't understand.
Sorry, the E.B.U.N Nifemi show. Are we not anchoring together? On the show today, I'll be answering some questions that my wife will be asking me.
That's not what we said. You're welcome on the E.B.U.N show. Today we will be talking about certain things that concern finance, disagreements, and how to manage the home generally.
And intimacy. It's going to be mind-blowing. Fasten your seatbelt. Get ready for a ride.
Please subscribe, like, and share. Babe, E.B.U.N once said,
your tummy is now bigger than mine. Oh, wow.
E.B.U.N once said,
Stop pressing my body. Do you want it to deflate? Show John Jenny.
why did you say that?
Now you're not the one to ask me question.
Okay. E.B.U.N once said,
Pray. At the head of this family, pray.
Finally, E.B.U.N once said,
You used to send me love songs, though. You used to send me love songs. Now you don't do anything again.
it's your turn.
Nifemi once said,
Babe, Shonje, why big pami?
So it's only food that I know.
You asked me.
Nifemi once said,
Babe, wow, Jega sai shikini yo. Uncle wa no ni o.
I'm not serious. She was. I was referring to prayers.
Indeed.
Nifemi once said,
Nifemi once said, babe, show me Lenny. I fired that guest.
Nifemi once said,
Babe, ṣó ti rí epo nu mọ́tò yẹn? Sọ bí tó ń lọ sí o. Má kàn gbé mọ́tò kó má lẹ.
You don't do it. I don't do it again.
All right, so the first question for today would be, have we ever had silent treatment standoff? And how did we break the ice?
Yeah, I think a couple of times. I don't know. We're built differently. I don't think I've ever given you silent treatment, have I?
You have.
Oh, I have, really? Oh, really? Quite a number of times. But I remember that at some point we've not spoken, and then like there's a brick, there's a wall. But I think when I come back home with gifts, after a long time, it melts the ice. And then I also think that, because we are good friends, and I don't think there's anyone outside of this relationship that is closer to each of us. So after a while, when you miss that friendship,
you come back.
You come back.
Yeah, so I think you practically answered. I think sometimes when we just want to be left alone, or when each of us, I think silent treatment often comes from when you have said a particular thing over and over. If it's not a new occurrence and you just feel, it doesn't matter what I say, maybe this person is not listening, and you just, but along the line, I think to break the ice, there are some times that you're just bored, like, whoa, maybe you have kept quiet enough now. Can you just go back to status quo? And like you said, the friendship, because you have gist, maybe someone is even pissing you at work, and then because you are still beefing your partner,
you'll now be keeping the gist.
You'll now be keeping the gist. It's just boring to keep the gist. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you just find a way. I think we just naturally come back together, basically.
I also think that even though silent treatment is not great for relationships, I think there are times when the conversation is too heated to have it at that point. Each party isn't ready to listen. You are still boiling out of emotions of how you felt by what the other person has done. Sometimes you might just want to take a break and come back to have that conversation.
You do not always have to address the issue at the heat of the moment.
Yes.
Because you might even be saying the wrong things. You are not addressing the issue, you are attacking the personality.
Because I want to say, can you hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying? Can you hear me can you hear me? But by the time you're putting your hand like this, it's like you have added you are silly. So sometimes you need to calm down, let the emotions go, and then come back to have the frank conversation.
Yeah. So the next one is, have you had disagreements in public? Have we had, and how do we handle it in public?
Well, I think that you are the more animated person. So the way I handle it is I go quiet. Because sometimes there are things you want to say, but you also have to be sensitive to the fact that your partner at that time is not going to take it the way you are saying it. So it's better that you just keep quiet and move on. So the way I think I've been able to handle it is when my wife says something in public that I'm not quite pleased with, I just keep quiet.
Even being the animated one, I don't think I've really handled issues in public.
Yes, yes.
I think I just keep quiet. So I try to use my eyes a lot. Maybe he has done something and he's trying to come close to me.
Is it your eyes or your nose? There's a way your nose swells when you're angry. No, that's not E.B.U. now. It's just...
See, you've answered your own now.
Okay, yes. Answer yours.
I use my eyes, Joe. Like, as it's coming, you have offended me. You're not coming to do love.
And then you just stop speaking.
As in, I just stopped speaking and I like, you two, my eyes. Don't near me as you are like that too. So I think in public, there's no point to start trading words. It just directs both of you basically. Like, what are you guys doing? It doesn't. And then, okay, what's the whole essence of addressing issues outside? Is it that so people hear what you guys are saying, or for people to be the ones to... It just doesn't make sense. Whatever, no matter how bad, if you now know that you cannot get home, you can get into the car. There are a couple of times we've had that, like, babe, meet me in the car, and then we can go there. Even when we're there saying, no, you shouldn't have, and people pass, you're like, what are you looking for? It's always like, we are cool, but what's your problem? Oh, there was a time too, we were going in the car, I think it was in the house, and a neighbor said, what's going on? Nothing. I mean, both of us can even fight the neighbor like So I think addressing issues in the public has always been a no-no.
And that can be very dramatic, because while you're walking into the car, both of you are looking, you're smiling, and then the moment you enter the car, the heated conversation begins, and then you wind down to greet someone, both of you smile and say, hi, how are you?
And then you feel like
hey. Very interesting.
Okay, what is your go-to phrase to diffuse tension?
I don't think I have one, but I think that I've always had this, is a slogan or this school of thought that there are certain things that we don't say in anger. We don't threaten the existence of our relationship, no matter how terrible we feel at the time. We don't say things like, I'm leaving you. We don't say things like, this is going to lead to the end of our marriage. I think that those are red zones for us, and we'll try as much as possible. We'll fail at it a couple of times, but we understand that it is a no-go area in our relationship. Do you have a go-to phrase?
Sure, love me money, bye. You shall not love me again, Abby.
And that will always work, because I'm a lover boy, And when you begin to...
Sometimes it is not phrase, it is an act.
Tell me about it.
You know something that will always diffuse.
The one you wake up in the middle of the night to do.
So basically.
I don't know, give me more details.
But you just said the one I wake up in the middle of the night to do. So let's go to the next question.
Yeah.
Okay, what is one communication habit you wish you had developed earlier in marriage?
Yes, so I think I'm a frank talker. I think it's in the family. We are very down to earth. we see the things the way they are. We don't know how to color things. And I think that it's something I wish, because when I look back on some of the major disagreements we've had, I found out that there are better ways I could have said certain things. In fact, I think it was this morning when I wanted to ask you if you had, I wanted to ask you something, I can't remember. Okay, I wanted to ask if you remember to use the insecticide in the house. And I started playing it over and over in my mind, that what is the best way to ask this question? You know, I could go like, did you flit the house yesterday? And if I'd asked that question while you were very busy catering to the children or working in your workspace, it can sound like you are irresponsible. Why didn't you do this? So I think I eventually found the right question to be, were you able to flit the house? So over the years, I'm beginning to not ask the question based on impulse, the way it's on the inside, because the intention is great, but the way it comes out sometimes can, sound offensive. So it takes I wish that I've developed that.
Honestly,
it takes
I wish so too.
It takes a lot of learning and unlearning to be able to accomplish it.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, because my husband can be quiet. Well, it's not quiet with me, because sometimes I'm like, babe, can you leave me my neck alone?
Like, is your impatience playing out?
You're a chatterbox in the house.
Yes,
People think, babe, so let me not even cast you. But however, my husband could be two extremes. Like, it can be very quiet to the outside world, right? Like quiet, and then when he moves to when he wants to talk, sometimes I'm like, babe, kilo first, or what do you want to say? Can you say it to me? Let me help you. Because when he drops it, so you can imagine how he talks to me in the house. Like, he just, and I'm like, they don't talk this way. But that's it, and I'm grateful that it is getting better. From my end, I think communication skill would be to address issues readily, immediately. Because okay, so I think growing up, there's this habit that I had of, you should know these things, like, even without me saying it.
You always think that the whole world is dumb.
No, not dumb. Like, you should be, and I've told you severally that is not, it is a wrong interpretation, because it will birth offense. It is that I don't have to use so much words.
Okay.
And I built friendships in school that all you just needed to do was maybe raise a brow. They already can catch it. I think it's a ladies thing, that you can be communicating with your friend from like 6 feet away, and once you do like this, they know that you're talking about the person beside you. All you just need to do is, they know maybe you're serving someone, So I felt that it was the same thing for men. Like, if you have not finished your statement, Baba has not gotten it.
I am not the Holy Spirit.
No, but his friends too. I'm not the Holy Spirit. Like, and I'm like, this one doesn't just get it, But now I'm feeling that, which one do you want? Someone that catches your statements midway, or you just want to have peace in the home? So I'm trying now to express myself in the simplest form, because like you said, not everybody is in your head. Whatever you built with your friends, female friends, it could even be the build-up of females to have things like that, because females are observant of the environment. So even when you move your brows to an object, they can connect it. But I feel that women have that over men. So with men, I'm learning that you have to be patient.
Absolutely.
Especially with your husband, to explicitly say what your intentions are, because there are so many times that we also have expectations and you just feel you should know, but I'm learning that they don't know. Like, so I expressly say what I want. Now, babe, I want you to get these things. Maybe when you're coming, I want you to do, because before, even when I say it usually would be, but I expect you to have.
Ladies will say one thing and expect you to hear 10. But communication is pretty much about, it's not even about what you say, it's what the other person hears, listens to, and understand. And that's why it's important that it's as basic enough for the man to understand.
So the next question is, what is the most romantic surprise you've planned? So you go.
I don't like questions like this anyway. But I remember recently I had to, go for a particular training. Was it a training? And then they lodged me in this 5-star hotel, and I just, brought my wife and children. The worst part of that trip is that the children did not want to go home again.
They didn't like our house anymore.
And then everybody was like, "Are we sleeping in that hotel tonight?" and all of that. And I think it was good.
Yeah,
It was a good surprise. I don't think it was a surprise for you.
It wasn't a surprise. Like we knew. I knew that. Yeah, it was good. Well, for me, oh yeah, so I've always been the queen of surprises, and people scarcely surprise me actually.
But I actually did recently.
I think you did. I acted some parts up.
For real? On your birthday? You knew?
I knew some parts.
Oh yeah, no. Let me gist about this girl. It was going to be her birthday, and I was trying to get some gifts. That's how I don't know how you went to go and look. And I've been keeping them. I kept it in the impossible places. You now went to find them out. And then now called me and said, "I'm sorry, I found this thing, but I will still pretend as if I did not see them." It was very... I felt really offended.
Sorry about that. Okay, so there was this birthday. I think, was it 2 or 3 years ago? So we always would do nice stuff for each other on our birthdays and even beyond. So, but birthdays are always special. So it was his birthday, and I just pretended like I didn't remember. I didn't even say happy birthday that morning. I just let it go. And I already called someone at his workplace that I was coming. So I already got my gifts, I got the drinks, I knew I was going to his workplace. So I just came, and I think it was on the news. I already called me that I was on my way, don't let him suspect and all of that. And every one of his colleagues came around, his boss, and he was like, "I thought you forgot my birthday." I said, "I didn't forget you, but how could I have?" And I think when we're dating too, I came to Benin and I left. I left few days before your birthday, right? And I'm sure I thought that was just it. But while I was in Benin, I had called people who were going to deliver cakes and gifts, and I'd gotten that. So I just left. You can imagine me leaving like a day to his birthday or 2 days to his birthday, and then someone just calls him to say, "Come outside of your room." And I was like, "Ah, really?"
I agree. You're the queen of surprise. But I think you left out the best part. There was a birthday where I was in Abuja.
Oh.
And then how could I have thought? I mean, how could I have thought that I would get gifts in Abuja? And then I actually got gifts in Abuja, and I was like, "What is she thinking?" And I shipped out a fine suit that I wore that morning. I think that's the best part for me.
Yeah, I did that in collaboration. Let me give hype to my guy, Lumi, Belief Bespoke. Yeah, because it was like, "Do you want?" Okay, so the suits were supposed to come in early or something, and it was like, well, that's one thing about Olumide. We beef ourselves a lot, right? Like we yap each other, but that thing that he does, like, it would always make up for your good day to be good. And I was like, we can get it anywhere. I thought he was joking. I was like, oh, if that is it, I would want these suits to get to him, and he did. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, love.
I love you.
You know I love you more.
I love his son now.
I'm married.
A lifetime.
A lifetime.
The next question is, who is the primary financial decision maker in our marriage?
You. Because you take 99% of the money, don't you? No, but really, I think that you are the prudent type. You are the one who can keep money in your account forever. I don't know what happens to the money in my account. I honestly don't understand. It's like anytime there's money in my account.
So I think our philosophy is about money is quite different.
Okay.
So, okay, I think another difference between you and I is that I could think in my head, even if I don't have it on paper, I know what I want to do in the next 1 year, and I could begin to plan for it in my head, so that even though I do not have what I want at the moment, 1 million can be staying there and I will not take a dime of it, even if I don't have food now, because in my head that money is spent and it can be there. But my husband sees
anytime money comes to my hand, I begin to have ideas.
Immediate ideas.
Ideas of what to eat, where to go, what to do with the money. So she's a safer place to keep
God. Like I could even have cash. Then stop stealing my money. That's another.
No. Steal your money.
The cash you used to steal in the
That
house.
was a long time ago. I don't. Do I even spend cash? I think I don't want to steal my money these days.
Me.
Yeah, because I trust you with a lot of my money, and you're no longer accountable to the money.
So okay, well,
Next
I think
question.
we've answered the question. Why are you running away from this question? Because you steal my money, right?
I don't
Okay. What's our biggest financial disagreement?
I think it has to do with whether or not we want to keep a joint account or not. You know, there was a time when we put our money together and all of that, and then, but after a while, we grew out of that. But I think we're at a point where we are more about financial accountability than joint spending, right? And I think that
you grew out of it.
yeah, I think I did, because it was for a purpose, because I wanted to be more responsible, you know, and at some point you started earning quite a lot, and I didn't want a situation where all of the burden was on you. So it's important that but I think we're at a comfortable place in our finances where
So initially I didn't like so before how we used to do it was we just put all our money together and disburse? Yes, disburse. I was going to say disemboss. Disburse it together. And at some point I didn't understand why he didn't want to do that anymore. And you see, it just still brings us back to that point of communicating. I was there angry and like, why are we not doing it together anymore? But he sat me down one day and said, babe, I want to have clarity as to what I am taking up. And I'm like, because I didn't think about it that way, you know, maybe the fees, and it does a larger part of it. So when he explained that to me, I was like, oh, really? And it was just like, keep your money. I'm like, I should go and spend my money.
Who needs your money after all?
That's pride.
Who needs your money when they own you? Plus your money and every other thing. Why are you speechless?
Why feminists come for you? I'm not going to even back you up, because this, I've told you, stop. Then thank God you didn't even say it in Yoruba. Ento leru lo leru. Don't even use that proverb for me again. Anyway, I own you too.
Okay.
So it's mutual owning.
Mutual ownership.
Yeah. So our final question says, what's the biggest challenge in staying fit as a couple? Biggest challenge in staying fit as a couple. And I think we'll be ending it here.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is you, because you have been the motivational factor behind exercise in the house, and then you stopped doing it a long time ago. But primarily, I think I have come to thank God that we are not on the big side. You know, when we met each other, both of us were so skinny and what have you. So seeing us adding weight is an exciting experience, because it's just like having different versions of people, and you're not cheating. You are just having different versions of the same person. So I like the contours, I like the shapes, I like the figures. It's fantastic. I don't think that we have gotten to that threshold yet where we should be concerned. Are you concerned about my tummy? Be honest.
Yeah, of course.
One day you saw me and said I should go to the hospital. My tummy so big. I don't understand.
No, they cannot see it yet. Don't worry. I'm not even eating. I'm the one who sees everything. Okay. Fitness, you know, at some point you start, you stop, you start, you stop. And I don't always even want my husband to join me, because
why?
That's
better. What's up?
So you just you and leave me alone. So I think that we should just remain. We've not done well in that aspect. We can just do better, because whether we like it or not, we might like our bodies like this, but it never ends because we keep eating all this stuff, and so there has to be a way to burn it.
Someone said the fact that you are slim doesn't mean you are fit.
Right. And that will be it on the show today. It's always the bomb with you, baby. I love you forever and a day.
You're a bomb.
I'm a bomb.
Yes. A content in a container going into the continent to explode.
Motivational speaker, son. And that's it, guys. Drop your comments for us, and whatever opinion you have. And don't ever forget that you also are a part of the show. You have topics you really want us to discuss, or something burning that we've not given a thought to. You can bring it to our notice, and you can be sure that we'll pay attention to it. Let's stop the comment section. If you have not subscribed, please let me give them word. Kilo Shele.
Hello, subscribe now and share, like, comment. Let us hit 5,000 subscribers today, right now.
Exactly.
You can make it happen.
Yeah. Bye.
I mean, you start giving me people money for subscribing.
Bye. I have something against Mr. Playful because it was the one that you give me that word. It was the one that introduced me, gave me the result.
Jeez.
Why are you behaving like a gentleman?
Before I start, do I look like someone that can stress somebody?
Is it always written on the face?
Now you're not making me look like I like money too much.
So you will say, rolling. No, just one more thing. It's not perfect yet.
Another
Is
5
that
minutes.
one more thing? Another 5, 10 minutes. And I'm like, so what is the issue?
I think the guy's a perfectionist.
Yeah, true. Anything to get it short.
So because I was going to talk to you.
Really?
Yes.
Which one?
You're a bit partial. Really. So you talk about guys, consider your wives, don't push sex on them anyhow, set them in the mood from the afternoon, blah blah blah. You're not talking about the other part.
Right?
No, I don't think she said women don't cheat.
No, she said. Let
there's
me
no-
say,
if
it's
there's
my
no-
episode.
No,
This is my
no,
episode.
no.
Let me
Sorry
say.
about that.
So she said that most times women cheat for revenge. That she was putting a clause to why women cheat, and I said that that's not totally true.